I think we can safely say that we're live. So happy Thursday and welcome to our No Code Ops live community show. Today we're here with Dominic Norton. Hi, Dominic. You're a bit of a VIP in the no code space. Not so far back, I was asking a question on LinkedIn, looking for speakers that could come and present, best solutions using no code and AI. And so many people directed me to you. And I was really lucky because you're also part of our community and no code ops. So I was like, yeah, I know Dominic, but little did I know that you were such a VIP in the no code space. And I saw on your LinkedIn that you're a social entrepreneur, and maybe you can give us more of a background on what you do and what makes you passionate about no code. And then today in particular, I know that we're going to dive into the use of AI, especially for agency owners. And so I'm very keen to learn all about that. And I'm just going to leave the floor to you and let you introduce yourself.
Okay, I'll go ahead and share the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe, can you already see my presentation?
Yeah, it's
Maybe?
right there.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and hit play and share that. So hello everybody, I'm Dominic Norton. There's lots of different titles I have, but I'm probably most proud of being an educator and social entrepreneur. I have what's over here in the UK called a community interest company, and it's closely related to a charity. And it's won awards, it's featured in lots of press. We work on lots of research. We're leading global charities. We work with the government, we work with the police, and that CIC, or that charity, is focused on missing Black people. So in the UK, there's an overwhelming amount of missing Black people, and there was lots of public outcry about things not being done. And I was able to use my experience with no code, experience with product management, to build a site that curates a lot of the appeals across the internet and centralizes them, and then also distributes them to our partners in an automated way. This has gained lots of traction. We've been featuring a lot of outlets, working with a lot of families, and this is how I've used no code. And this is the side of no code, or the side of the things I do, that I'm probably the most proudest of. What that actually led into is me really seeing the power of no code. I kind of knew from a SaaS or micro SaaS or indie hacker aspect the power of no code, but I saw the power of no code to democratize actually solving local problems or national problems, for regular people to do that. And I started to build an online learning platform to teach people no code, but specifically to teach them no code in a way that leads them to solving social issues. I partnered with many Google communities, many Microsoft communities, working on a curriculum with a university in Canada now, advised and taught a lot of accelerators and incubators on how their entrepreneurs and how their social entrepreneurs can use no code and low code to solve social problems. I am a fellow of On Deck, ODNC1. Last year, I was a part of a founding team that raised about 150K pre-seed funding in New York through Entrepreneur Roundtable Accelerator on a platform built with Bubble. And also, I create a lot of content. So I create a lot of content on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, you name it. On TikTok, I have about 16,000 followers from all over the world, all different fields, and trying to impact them in whatever way I can. Today, and by the way, if you have any questions, just write them out and we'll kind of answer questions as we go. Today, we'll be focusing specifically on AI for agency owners and optimizing workflows and efficiency. So I give you an idea what this covers and what this doesn't cover. This doesn't actually cover building AI applications. I do that as well, but that's not the scope of this particular workshop. It doesn't include fine-tuning your own models. That could help, but it's probably more entry-level workshop, what we're doing today. But what it does cover, if I go to the contents, is programmatic SEO, and I'll explain what that actually means, bulk content creation, and sales outreach. before we continue, does anybody have any questions? And I can't actually see. So
Don't worry, I'll feed them to you if anything comes up in the chat. I just want to say hi to everyone watching on YouTube and LinkedIn right now. And yeah, just like Dominic is saying, if you have any questions at any point, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll make sure I'll feed them to Dominic, and we'll answer them for you.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about programmatic SEO, my almost very, very low cost way of doing this, because you can purchase platforms that allow you to do this maybe in parts easier. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I focus on programmatic SEO now and why I focus on the things I focus on now. Firstly, we're going to start by giving you a definition of programmatic SEO, and this is a way of using automated tools and data to optimize your website's search engine visibility and ranking. I have been notorious for producing products that I don't actually market. Some of them really amazing, some of them not so good. Nonetheless, all of them receive very, very little marketing. And especially who's someone who produces a lot of products, that works on a lot of ideas simultaneously, I needed ways to not only market, but to be able to market different projects at scale with high efficiency. And this is what actually led me to programmatic SEO. To give you, we're going to jump to some use cases before we jump to advantages and disadvantages. To give you an example, Remote OK is a big case study for programmatic SEO. If you're not familiar with Remote OK or the founder is amazing on Twitter, and he shares a lot of advice and guidance and his journey. And I think Remote OK is also an open startup, so you can see their metrics over time. But Remote OK is a job board and online community that connects remote workers with job opportunities. And programmatic SEO kicks in here, where they have web pages for remote jobs in the United Kingdom, or remote tech jobs, or remote customer service job. So you can see there's a formula to the pages. There is remote plus the type of job. Here's just general, here is tech jobs, here's customer service, and sometimes it's the area. So United Kingdom can be swapped with France, it can be swapped with Germany, it can be swapped with, I don't know, China. And also you can localize it too. So it could be remote tech jobs in London. So this is a programmatic way. This is a systematized way to actually creating web pages and creating content. Canva does a similar thing. Obviously, Canva, and I hope everybody knows, if you don't know, you should sign up to Canva almost immediately. Canva is a graphic design platform that allows users to create visual content. So you can create, we're going to actually use Canva today, so you'll be able to see all the different things you could create, but you can create t-shirts, posters, ebooks, you name it. Canva have web pages that are structured, theme, type of creative, and template. Repeatable search phrases. That's the key. That's the goal with programmatic SEO. Here you can see free Christmas poster template, free conference poster template, free charity poster template. And they create at volume all these pages at once. And so we're going to do a very, very similar thing. The scope of because we have limited time, and I'm actually trying to do quite a lot in the time we have. I'm not going to talk as much about keyword research. I'm not going to talk as much about backlinks and outbound links. I'm just going to talk about the actual creation of the content as I do it, or as I developed. Also, I'm an indie hacker. I'm a builder. I'm not a marketing expert, but this is what I learned from all these marketing experts, and I've applied my experience of being an indie hacker to be able to hack things together, to be able to do this at scale.
And also, I think, Dominic, we're safe to say that if people do have any more in-depth questions, or they would like to continue the conversation, join our community. Dominic is there. You can ask us and all the other no-code operators in our Discord. So make sure you pop in there and ask your questions as well.
Yeah. So I have a product. I'll show you this product super, super quick. This product verifies potentially fraudulent cryptocurrency websites. So bitcoin.com is not the official website for Bitcoin, it's bitcoin.org. But this Chrome extension, when you select it, and this was also built with no code, it references the current website you're on against the coin market cap database. And if it's not in the coin market cap database, then it says, hey, it's not verified, use it with caution. Very simple Chrome extension. At one point, I had a lot of users. Now it's probably about down to 120, but I don't market this at all. And I started to apply programmatic SEO to actually build web pages to generate organic traffic. If I show you the structure of the web pages, you can start to see how I did it. I'm going to show you under the hood and how I did it in the spreadsheets. And then I am going to show you how you can do a similar thing. So what we have here is Ethereum versus Avalanche. And I have a paragraph about, and these are two cryptocurrencies. What I have here is an introduction about Ethereum versus Avalanche. I have the advantages and disadvantages of Ethereum, advantages and disadvantages of Avalanche, and then I have a conclusion. This was all made programmatically, and if we actually go to Ethereum versus Polkadot, you'll see a similar thing. This introduction is a little bit different based on Ethereum versus Polkadot. This is pretty much the same. This is obviously different, and this is where we're getting into programmatic SEO. And for those marketing experts, you'll know this can actually be a lot better than it is. But this is an amazing start, considering a couple months ago, I wasn't marketing any products whatsoever. So we're going to look at this under the hood. And what we have done here is we've built this in Google Sheets. And now there are SaaS platforms where you could do this. I just thought Google Sheets is one of the easiest ways to do it using Google Sheets and formulas. What you can see here is I have different columns that do different things. So here I have the first cryptocurrency, Ethereum. I have the second cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. And this could be softer versus Dalo. It could be, I'm trying to think what, it could be, I don't know, anything that's a comparison.
Zapier versus Make.
Exactly. Zapier versus Make. It could be anything that's a comparison. Here, this is just the format that I've done it in a comparison. But if I didn't actually want to go back, but I do have a love letter generator, and you can do the top 10 handbags to buy for Mother's Day in 2023. So handbags can change. You could say the top 10 shoes or the top 10 electronics, and the year can change. So you're thinking about this in a programmatic way again. So what we have here is the first item, Ethereum, that's hard coded. We can see it's hard coded right here.
Mm-hmm.
We have the second one, hard coded Bitcoin. But now when we get to the title, what we actually have is a formula, and we have a concatenate formula. And this is basically a formula in Google Sheets. Excel has a similar thing. Airtable has a similar thing, where you can say, bring together these two columns. And here I've said, add this additional thing. So I said, add verse. Here you can see Ethereum, and I've added verse, Bitcoin. And that is my title. When we go back here, we can see Ethereum versus Polkadot. But this is how this title was built here programmatically. That means all I have to do is add, if I do, let's do Polkadot.
And this is gonna tie really well to another events that we're gonna have 2 weeks from now, where we're going to look like in depth into programmatic SEO, and so yeah, this is gonna tie in really nicely.
Yeah. So you'll definitely see in 2 weeks, you'll see more details. This is a great introduction for you in just how programmatic SEO can be done on the most basic level. I'm sure in 2 weeks, it will go in a lot more detail to add a lot more customization. So you can see immediately, I just added two things here, Polkadot versus Solana, and you can see immediately, because this formula carries over, now we have Polkadot versus Solana here. Amazing. What we have here is an introduction. And I have used our friend ChatGPT to actually generate this introduction. And we're going to head over to ChatGPT. there are a little bit. I think there's some bugs going on with ChatGPT, but
Yeah,
we fix.
today's been a little bit flaky.
Yeah. So I'm going to immediately say write an introduction to an article comparing Polkadot to Solana. So what you can see here is immediately giving me an introduction, but what I want is variables to customize. So you can see here, Polkadot is going to be one variable. Solana is going to be another variable. Everything else, yeah, you can see here, Polkadot, Solana, another variable. Everything else is relatively generalized, but this would make a decent introduction. And this is what I've done here. You can see that I have my introduction, but also you can see the formula. So here you can see B2, here you can see A2, and that's doing the same thing here. So if we enlarge this a little bit, you can see it's replaced it with Tether and Ethereum. It's kept it the same. You could even ask ChatGPT or Jasper AI or Copy AI, another tool, to rephrase this. But the most important thing is you want the variables. And this is what we have here for our introduction. If we go right here, we can see we have that for our introduction here. If anybody wants, I can give you a template where you can actually see how to do this, because hopefully I can zoom in and it won't be too bad. Oh, okay, let's try that again. What you can see here, I have the concatenate, but also I have strings with the variables. And if you want to put strings and variables, you kind of have to format it like this. So you can see I close the quotations, put the comma, put the variable, put a comma, open the quotations, put my string, close the quotation. So you have to kind of keep that format if you want to combine strings with variables. So
I think a template will be amazing. And people were also asking if they can access the slides at the end of the presentation. So maybe we can share those.
Definitely.
Awesome.
And so what we're going to do is continue showing. So we have a subheading here. And this again is a string with a variable where it says the advantages and disadvantages of A2. We can see that A2 is Ethereum. So it says the advantages and disadvantages of Ethereum. We head back and we can see the advantages and disadvantages of Ethereum. So I think you're starting to, hopefully, you start to get the point in how to combine Google Sheets and Google Sheets formulas with ChatGPT for programmatic SEO. We're just going to go through some of these, but it's really the same principles.
Yeah, in our future event, I think it'll be similar, because we're going to use for that particular use case, we will be using Airtable instead of Google Sheet, but there's also formulas there, and so I think it's going to be a similar process.
It's going to be almost the exact same process. You can see here again, I've used ChatGPT to create me a generic paragraph, and also with the ChatGPT, we can get it to make adjustments. So we don't have to stop here. We can add more customization. We can ask it to emphasize particular things. But we do, for programmatic SEO, we do want something that we can repeatedly use. So this paragraph is good for us to repeatedly use, and then also replace the variables. And that really works for this. For my particular site, this particular site, not all my sites, but this particular site was done on WordPress. And there is a WordPress plugin called, I think, All-in-One, where all I have to do is export this as an Excel, as a spreadsheet, CSV, sorry. And I just upload that to my WordPress backend, and then it creates all of these pages for me. If you're doing it in Airtable, and let's say you're connecting it to Softer's automatically going to do all those pages for you.
Yeah.
Similar to many other tools.
Yeah, I think we'll be using Airtable, WellSync, obviously
Yep.
ChatGPT, and launching on Webflow.
And Webflow. So those are
Yeah.
great combinations. There are parts of it where you might have to go through Google Search Console and index particular pages and just make sure it's right. But that's almost like that's getting deeper into marketing and less into no code ops.
Mm-hmm.
We hit 20 minutes, so I am watching the time. Because
Awesome.
we do have other things to get through before we get jump to the next thing about creating bulk content. Does anybody have any questions?
Feel free to drop them in the chat if you do. But yeah, I know that in general, people were very curious to see, how you're also able to optimize, your as an agency owner, like I guess your
Yeah,
processes and how do you speed them up using AI.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're actually going to do now is bulk content creation. So that's the first way. The first and that is related to marketing, especially if your agency now you're having to do outreach, you're having to do marketing, maybe you're having to manage other people. Sometimes you might have to build a little bit yourself. So that is the first way you can optimize your workflow and efficiency by creating content at scale to drive inbound traffic. So you don't have to keep doing LinkedIn messages and cold Twitter DMs and following up. It's easier if a lot of interest comes inbound. And that's our first way of doing it, improving our SEO with programmatic SEO. Next, we're going to do bulk content creation. So content has been really good for me on both on YouTube and TikTok. It has generated a lot of leads. What I learned is that, and I think my camera actually might have went off for a second, but what I learned is that the way I was doing content previously is not sustainable. I was not systematizing my process. I was putting so much effort into one video, and that video was likely to not even perform. Creating content is one about consistency, two about volume. Yes, there's quality involved, but consistency I particularly prioritize consistency and volume. So bulk
Dominic, I
content.
think you're turning into an AI yourself now. You lost your human
No,
form.
I definitely have the human touch there. I learned that most people are not even going to see my content the first time, second time. And if I spend days on this one video, chances are they're not even going to see it. So I have to kind of use AI to trick the AI into getting me seen. And a part of that is creating content at scale, especially if you have multiple projects, especially if you have lots of things going on. And this is what bulk content creation is about. The advantages is that it is cost effective, it saves time, and it enables you to test different things. The disadvantages is that it lacks creativity. You can duplicate content sometimes, and it's prioritized quantity over substance. And I wouldn't say just to do 100% AI or bulk content creation, but on the days that you don't feel like posting, it is amazing. Trust me. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do this with, again, Google Sheets. The second thing we're going to use is Make. And the third thing we're going to use is Canva. We can just do this in Google Sheets and Canva, but we're going to use Make for this too. So hopefully you're familiar with Make. If you're in this community, chances are you
Hmm.
are familiar with Make. We're going to log in. You can see all my different project email addresses. Okay, so I'm going to head over to scenarios. For those that are not as familiar with Make, a scenario is just a name of an automation. I'm going to create a new scenario. And what I want to do immediately is connect this to my Google Sheets here. And what I'm going to do, I am going to write a simple theme, let's say entrepreneurship. And then I'm going to have OpenAI actually create a post for it here.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to export that. And then I'm going to put that in Canva, and it's going to bulk create my content. Now, there are other ways to do this. You can actually integrate, I think there are plugins and extensions where you can integrate OpenAI directly to this. I have fine-tuned models, and I do have YouTube tutorials on that. I fine-tune models where I've integrate my fine-tune model to Google Sheets. You can do that too. But I wanted to showcase Make here, so we kind of it's not the quickest way, but it's a way to integrate Make, and Make allows unlimited different possibilities to integrate with different services. So what we're going to do back in Make, we're going to find Google Sheets. And what I want is watch this for new row. I am going to find my spreadsheet ID. So AI for agency owners. I'm going to select my sheet, which is content. The table has headers. I'm just going to hit that. It's going to watch for new rows. So anytime a new row is added, this is going to trigger. What I'm going to do is then send this to OpenAI. Let me just check. I'm going to send this to Open, and what I actually want to do is run this once. Let me type entrepreneurship. I want to run this just so it picks up, and let me just check. Okay, we're going to move forward. I wanted to see if it's picking up what I'm actually the new rows. But what we're going to do next is send the data to OpenAI. And if you haven't done this before, I'll move a little bit slower. So we're going to create a new module, find OpenAI, and we want create a completion. And in create a completion, what we actually want to do is after connecting your OpenAI API keys, so I'm just going to click add. You're going to get your API keys from OpenAI and add it here. You don't need to add the organization ID. Once you add that, you will see something like this. And it's interesting. They have the new feature here of create a chat completion. So that's interesting. That wasn't there a couple days ago. And so what we're going to do is send a model, select a model, and we're going to do a prompt. So what I want to do is create a prompt. And before I create a prompt here, I'm just going to do a test. I am going to do something really, really basic. I'm in the OpenAI playground right now, and I'm going to just see what happens. I'm going to play around with prompts and just experiment with the output. So I'm going to say write and let's say, I'm not sure, tweet is the right word, fact about entrepreneurship. If I'm spelling this right. Write a fact about entrepreneurship. Okay, so this is super, super basic. You probably want to change this for your purpose. But here we have an output, which could be, it could be an okay post. But we have a variable here. And this variable is actually going to come from our sheet. So we see entrepreneurship here. I could say write a fact about romance for my love letter generator.
Which you launched on Valentine's Day. That was so well timed. Yeah, it was really good.
So it says romance is found in all cultures all over the world. That's probably not the best thing. Not the best thing I want to write.
Write a fact about no-code operators.
Okay. No-code operators.
There you go.
Okay. So that's okay. It's not bad. It could be a lot better, but let's just work with that. So we're going to write the prompt here. Again, remember, static text plus variable. The variable here is no code operator. So I actually want to remove that and put theme. So the theme is coming from my spreadsheet. So here it would be no code operators, it would be romance, it would be entrepreneurship, it would be COVID-19, whatever you want to put here. So I'm actually going to test this. So we can see here, the theme here is entrepreneurship. We can see here that the output from OpenAI, it says entrepreneurship is becoming more accessible with the rise of, and now we need to make some adjustments here. So we're going to show advanced settings. We're going to put some max tokens. We're going to add temperature. So these are just different ways to fine tune it and like adjust the output. Max tokens and temperatures, probably the most important ones you want to focus on. As you can see here, temperature talks about how creative do you want the output to be. And max tokens is actually very, very important. That's because there's a token limit. So there's a limit of how much you can send OpenAI or similar services and how much you can receive back. Tokens connects to how many characters and words there are. A good rule of thumb, or an okay rule of thumb, is I think there's just a little bit over 4,000 is the limit. So if you just split that by 2, it should be fine. It should be fine for most use cases, not all use cases. But in our use case right here, it should be fine. So we're actually going to run this again. I don't think it picked up any new. So we're going to put no code operators. And it should pick up. I'm going to run this. You can see it picked up the new row, no code operators. And we go to choices. You can see this is a lot better. No code operators are a trend in the technology world where businesses are applying automation to tasks and so on and so forth. So that's what we have. But what we want is it to do one more thing. We want it to update a row. And we're going to find our spreadsheet, AI for agency owners. The sheet name is content, I believe. The row number, so we want the same row number that it picked it up from, but we want the update to be in post, and we want the, let's see, and we want to take it from here. So we want to take it from choices, and we want to take it from text. And that's where we want to update. So if I hit that again, so I need to add another row. So I might just do no code operators again. We hit this. It's going for OpenAI. It's added. So we should be able to go and we could say, we can see it here. So what I'm actually going to do now is add no code developers, citizen developers, and indie hackers. I don't know.
No code architects. There's so many names popping up.
Architects. Okay.
Dom, I think your camera has left us for good.
Yeah, I think the camera's basically said he doesn't want to see me no more. So what we're going to do is hit run again. And you can see, let's see here. And we go back. You can see it's added those two. Let's see if we run this again. There was an issue. Okay, it's finished now. And actually, because there's a limit, I set the limit to 2, but actually you could set the limit to a lot more. But we can see here, and if I actually remove the ones that don't have, we can see here now it's given us some text to post. This is where it gets interesting because we're going to head over to Canva now. And we are considering TikTok is the best platform right now, or one of the best. Should I create a video or image? Not sure. let's just create a video. And so what we're going to do is create a video. I am going to find a template. So this template is kind of cool. So, and sorry if I'm moving a little bit fast. If you're not familiar with Canva, Canva is a really good design tool. It's a free design tool. The premium version, I do have the premium version, and I think it is totally worth it. If you are an indie hacker, agency owner, I definitely think Canva is worth it for all your design and marketing needs. You can see here, there's lots of templates for you to create stunning designs with it. What we're going to do is actually use a app called Bulk Create. So to find it, you will go to apps, and I'm not sure. You will look somewhere in here. It will be Bulk Create. I already have installed it, so I have it here, and it
Yeah, you can
gives you
probably
an
use the
opportunity.
search bar. You can probably use the search bar at the top.
Yeah. So I have it here, and it's asking you to add the data. So I'm actually going to export this as a CSV. So I have exported that as a CSV. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to upload my CSV. And you can see we have theme and post. But what we actually want to do is right click on that, and we want to connect data, and we're going to connect that to post. So you can see immediately it's connected to post. So my post is now going to go right here. So where you can see no code operators provide businesses with low cost customized automated software, that's going to go right there. It's going to create another video that puts this one there, and then this one, and then this one, and so on and so forth. And what we want to do is hit continue, and you can see it dragged in all the items in that particular column. And you can see generate 5 pages. So we're going to hit generate 5 pages, and you can see it's generated 5 pages. We can make slight adjustments. You can see here. I might change the size. Some of them are like really big. We could always adapt this, and in our prompt, we could say keep it to a certain amount of characters. But you can start to see here that we are quickly generating content. And what if we wanted to add a different image on all of these, or a different background video? All we have to do is go to elements, and we'll go to videos, and I might type in sky. We have different sky videos, and you wouldn't want it that long, so maybe 5 seconds, 4 seconds. So this is how we're bulk generating content. And when you hit download, we're going to download 5 pages. And as you can see, it's going to take a while, but this is how you bulk create content for your projects, for your clients. This is how you bulk create content to be able to market your services as an agency and start to really get into this content marketing game with very, very little effort. Does anybody have any questions on that before we move on to the next task? It seems like nobody has any questions.
Oh, sorry, I was talking. I was on mute as per usual. 2023, and I'm still troubleshooting that issue. Yeah, I was just saying that people in our audience today are being a little bit shy. So, feel free to drop your questions. This is a unique opportunity for you to learn in just under 60 minutes. So don't shy away. Ask as many questions as you can.
If anyone comes up with any questions later, we can go over those questions. But the next thing is gonna be kind of interesting. So if I jump to my slides again, what we're going to do is sales outreach with ChatGPT and mail merge. A part of my strategy, a part of my sales strategy is PR. So whether it's blogs or whether it's magazines or whether it's press, I do reach out to a lot of journalists. I let them know what I'm working on. I let them know when there's updates and just kind of keep them in the loop on the things I'm working on in case they want to run a story, especially with like my love letter generator, around Valentine's Day. Now Mother's Day is coming up here in the UK, and these are seasonal times where they're trying to find new and creative stories.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your agency is working on something related to um, social impact issues related to the war in Ukraine or something related to that. This is one way to reach out to a lot of journalists really easily, and I think that's the best strategy. With journalists, it's just hit or miss, so you have to shoot a lot of shots. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to use mail merge, but we're also going to use mail merge and ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to help us write the press release, and then I'm going to show you how to do the mail merge. Again, we're going to use static text or static string with a variable. For those that don't know what a mail merge is, it's a feature in Gmail, and other platforms have it too, but I use Gmail. So it's a feature in Gmail that allows you to create personalized emails. And the level of personalization in mail merge is different to what AI will provide. The level of personalization in mail merge is more like replacing variables. AI can probably go a step further than that. But this is how we're going to do it. Advantage is it does save time and effort, and it enables you to send a lot of emails very quickly. It allows you to improve professionalism and personalization. The disadvantage is that if you're not well organized and don't have good data source, it's just not going to work well. If it's not done correctly, it may contain errors in the output, which doesn't actually help your business. And it's not suitable for everything. So you just need to see on a case by case basis what is suitable for. We're going to head over to ChatGPT again. And what we're going to do is say, write a press release email for I don't know what product. What product am I going to write for? A Chrome extension that validates, that identifies fraudulent cryptocurrency websites. So my spelling is terrible, but we're asking ChatGPT to write a press release. So you can see here that it's writing a basic press release. Obviously, I haven't given it that much information. The only variable here that is put in is the journalist's name. I
That's
think we might
crazy.
just
That's
we
crazy.
might just move forward. Yeah. So with no
As
code
much
ops,
as I use ChatGPT every day, it still baffles me, whenever I see such a lengthy content that you can create in seconds. There is a
yeah.
question from there's a couple questions actually. So Keratin and Curls says, wow, this is so good. Thank you for sharing. As this is so accessible, it seems like this will be the majority of content in the future, possibly so. And I feel like we will also have to create and invent solutions to make sure that all this content is validated. So then she says, do you think this type of content will lose its value in the future as everyone will be doing this, meaning there's no differentiation?
I think there will always be differentiation. So if we go back to here, if everyone's just gonna write a fact about no code operators, there's not gonna be no differentiation. Um, but if we say write a fact about no code operators based on the following. Let me think. No, say citizen development is on the rise. companies can't afford software developers. And let's just leave it there. Output is going to be different now, or it should be different. So you can see the output is different. And the point I'm trying to make here is if you give it a generic prompt, it's going to give you a generic output. But if you add your own personality to the prompt, or you add your own humor and your own character to the prompt, or even your own take. I wrote a Medium article recently with the help of AI, obviously. Let's go and see this. Oh, here about NFTs, and I basically used AI and also my own personal thoughts about NFTs to say, hey, there's challenges with NFTs and physical products when it comes to authenticity and transfer. And I used AI to help me fill in the gaps between my own thoughts and ideas. So a lot of this is my thoughts and ideas, but also AI has helped me fill in the gaps. And this is where I think AI is best used, not just to like blanket use it and just leave it there. Really think about the prompt, really think about your take on things. But also when we're talking about scale, thinking about, okay, how can this scale? Because you can tell it, hey, focus on affordability or focus on the impact of no code operators in emerging nations. And that might be your unique take talking about no code operators in emerging nations or no code operators in the charity sector or no code operators in Chicago. You know, you're going to have your own take, and that's what you have to add to the prompt. And then the output will be based on your own personal take.
Yeah, the more detailed, the better. We
Exactly.
also have a question from Rachel Wilson.
Yeah.
Question on sales. Has Dominic used ChatGPT or other AI tools with HubSpot or Asana?
No, not HubSpot or Asana. No.
Hmm. Okay. And then we had one
But
question
is there a
from,
specific question with HubSpot or Asana? And it's
yeah,
just because I
why
don't I
would you
don't
want
use
to know
HubSpot a
that?
lot.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we have a question from Matthias on LinkedIn. Let me just, is there a way you can automate with Canva? So he was trying to connect, I guess, Make with Canva to create this bulk content.
I don't think Canva has an API. My best way to do it is fill this up as much as you want to fill it up, and then just load it in Canva how we have loaded it in Canva. Um, and it will generate all the rows and it will generate all the posts for you. You're gonna only do that one time though, but I would suggest just fill that out completely.
Yeah, thank you.
But I don't believe Canva has an API where you can do it. So if you wanted to do this another way, you could use Banner Bear, but Banner Bear is expensive. Canva's the free way to do it. Banner Bear again, it allows you to do a similar thing to what we just done in Canva, and programmatically create images and videos. If we actually go to the pricing, you can see it starts at 50 a month. So
Yeah, perfect.
and so we're gonna continue. So what we was doing, yeah, we created this basic this basic draft, right? And I haven't given it much information. I haven't told it the benefits of my product. I haven't told it anything, so it's just given me a basic output. But we're just gonna roll with this basic output for the sake of time. And what we want to do next is we want to go to Google or Gmail. I said Google, but we want to go to Gmail. And what we're going to do is we are, and I need to get rid of some of these tabs because I'm confusing myself, but we need to, yeah, we need to copy and paste this and create a draft email. So I'm actually going to copy and paste this. Yeah, I could add a variable here, and it probably best to write a subject line that is probably more personalized. But again, for the sake of time, I think I'm going to show you the foundation of this, and you're going to understand where you can adapt it and improve it. What I am going to do also is just grab this. And I actually want to do something in particular. I want to adapt this a little bit. So it says dear first name. So I want to put dear. And you'll understand why I'm doing this the way I'm doing it shortly. I'm going to put these. I don't actually know what they're called, but I'm going to put dear first name. And I'm going to put description. Yeah, I'll call it description. Or let me call it content. And then I'm going to look at the format. Best regards, Dominic. And I'm going to put best regards, Dominic. So here we have variables. If I can spell my name right. Here we have variables. We have a dear, first name, content, best regards, Dominic. Okay. And we have a draft email now. And what I need to do, don't tell me I exited out of the tab I need. Okay.
Classic.
Yeah. So we need this Google script. I will share the link with you, but this is a free script, and this is going to allow us to automate sending bulk emails. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to set this up, so you don't need to worry. We're not going to read this right now. If I hit make a copy, what I want to do is hit make a copy. We give that some time to load. And here we have a sample template. You can see here it has first name. If we go back to our draft, that's going to be replaced here. We see here it says description, but we're actually going to replace that with content. It says recipient. I'm not sure. I might have to do this. I might have to double check. I might need to put that variable there for recipient. You got to make sure the spelling is correct. You have to make sure the casing is correct. So it has to be written exactly as this spreadsheet. You can actually change the spreadsheet. You can reduce it. You can add it. You, like, for example, I don't need this discount code, so I can delete this column. I don't need this, so I can delete this column. Do not delete this email sent. Do not delete this recipient. Everything else we don't actually need. What I'm going to put here in this description is my body. Yeah. So you can the way to do it. And just for the sake of being able to see this, I'm just going to clip that. So you can see, and hopefully it's starting together how we can begin. I'm giving you the foundation here, but this can actually be customized a lot with Make or whatever you want to do with it. We can customize this content bit a lot, but I'm just going to drag and drop this down. I'm going to change one of these to my email so I can actually show you the output of this. That's correct. And so the next thing we're going to do is you can see this mail merge here. We're going to hit mail merge. We're going to hit send emails. And we need to give it permission. So we're going to hit continue. I have to log into my other account. Need to grab my phone and find my long password.
I have some questions in the meantime, if you can multitask and ask them and answer them.
I can definitely try.
um, can DALI generate images and add in Google Sheet?
So yes, DALI 2 can generate images and add it in Google Sheets.
Yeah.
And we have to, so we're almost at time, but I can show you that. I can show you how to do that.
I
You can
guess
do
we,
that in
we
Make.
might
You
we
can
might
do that
have
in Make.
to we might have to get you back in here to share some more
Yeah.
goodies with us.
But the same way we did the second thing in Make, you can do the same thing with DALI 2. So there is a module that allows you, and if it lets me click this, if I was to do this, OpenAI, generate an image. So you would have to give it a prompt, and exactly how we done it here, you would give it a prompt that generates the image, and that could be dynamic, and it will add it to Google Sheets.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're trying to log in somewhere over here.
Yeah, and next week actually we will have Sebastian Mertens, who's head of strategic projects at Make, coming as a guest speaker and showing us all the potentialities using Make and AI. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. And
Well,
for anyone here who would like to join our community as well and keep these conversations going with us and with Dominic, I'm just going to share a link in the chat as well. We have moved. We're not on Slack, we're on Discord, but we're very much active. We have over 500 operators. And so, yeah, feel free. It's free to join. So make sure you hit that button.
okay. I was actually logged into the wrong email. That's why it is not doing that for me. So I'm going to here make a copy. And I don't want it on this email. I want it on this email. So we're going to jump over here. Hit make a copy. Sign in. I had to write my password again.
um, question from Jeffrey. Hi, Jeff. As opposed to Google Sheets, can you use Notion instead as a database?
I think you can. Because I think Make does connect to the Notion API. So as long as the API is exposed, you can use it.
Perfect.
Okay. So we're going to do this again. If I delete this column, I change one of these emails to my email so you can actually see the output of what it's sending. Change the name to Dominic. I need to change this description. So we're working from 2 tabs now because Google is a little bit annoying. So I'm gonna grab
I,
my body.
I love the
Yeah.
fact that your camera is just gone out, and you are an AI right now. I just feel like I have my personal, you know, artificial intelligence here showing us what to do.
So what we've done is using this mail merge sheet, we have added our variables. What I need to do is going to ask me for permission again. Don't ask me to log in again. Okay, so now I'm giving it permission. It should ask me for the, okay, it's asking me for the subject line. And the subject line is basically just mapping it to the draft. So if we go back to my drafts and we go back here, you can see this is the subject line right here. So all I have to do is copy and I paste that there, hit OK. Now it's running the script. And let it run. I think I received the email. So now it's finished, it's sent. And just to show you the output. You can see here. Oh. I think that's a premature clap. So we did do something wrong. Here we have in our drafts this called content. If I go back to my sheet, it's called description. Again, they need to be exactly the same as the draft. So I'm actually going to remove this here. I'm going to run it again. Okay, prepare for the claps. I
Oh,
have
it's gonna be
to
even better.
subject line. That's how you know this is real, because like things are going wrong.
I love that, because that's
That's
gonna
how you
happen
know
to
I'm not AI.
somebody. That's that's gonna happen to somebody here trying to repeat the same process, and then they'll be like, "Oh, now what is not working?" But I love showing them a little bit of troubleshooting as well.
So you can see here it's working, and so we can add. So you can see it's not exactly perfect. So what we would do is go back and add break lines, and so it looks like there's break lines here, but actually to Google Sheets or to Gmail, there's not break lines here. So we would actually have to add break lines here, and I think the way I would do that is put in something like this. I think so, but I would have to Google how you add break lines. But you can see it works. We've automated it. Here it doesn't have the name, first name, because again, you can see I have first capital F, lowercase n. If I go back to my drafts, you can see I have capital F, capital N. They need to be exactly the same. But this is how you automate bulk cells, and it will send them to all of these emails that you have here.
Fantastic. I think that's really great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I mean, I think it deserves another applause. Thank you so much, Dominic. I'm so sad that we can't see you, but hopefully we'll get to see you again if you would like to come back as a speaker here, because I'm sure at the end of our series of events for No Code and AI, I would like to host another roundtable with all our speakers, just like what I did with our API series. And so this is my official invitation for you. And so, yeah, thank you so much for taking this time today to be here with us and for being an awesome member at our community at No Code Ops.
No, it's been amazing. It's been great. I'll come back anytime. And if anyone has any questions, I am in the Discord channel. Sometimes I'm super, as Claudia knows, sometimes
You
I'm
have to
super
chase
good at
him.
responding, and sometimes I'm terrible at responding. Sometimes I will overwhelm you with communication, and sometimes I'm like completely missing. So
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much once again. And to all our audience here, I will see you next week. I think we're starting a little bit earlier next week, but yeah, hopefully see you there. Take care, everyone.
bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye. Peace.